making it in the future?
We got to figure out the cold situation.
We need heaters.
How about coats?
Oh shoot! I don't think I posted the chazara. I'm posting it now.
Why? What happened to wearing coats and stuff? Isn't that what we do in the winter?
Is that so? Not me. But I don't daven outside, so I guess.
A lot of things different this year.
No.
What?
Yeah, put it away.
Yeah, not here. No, not Arizona. So sorry.
Mazel tov, Naftali.
So sorry.
You
Thank you
ain't getting
very
away
much.
with that.
Thank
You
you
ain't
very
getting away
much.
with that. You gotta walk in the cold.
To sit in the cold. Thank you, everyone. That Mazel Tov. Thank you very much, everyone that posted in the chat. I figured I'll wait to share to thank everyone.
Yes.
May we share in simchas.
Like cold type of people.
What?
Go away.
And I said, may we share in each other's simchas.
Amen.
I did tell him there is no heat up there. That's the problem.
So what do you want to do?
I told him when the heat goes on downstairs. Okay, we're ready. I'll discuss it. Okay, ready to roll? Okay, so Chazara from yesterday. Hold on a second. Oh, I just posted the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, what are we up to? Pay today's pay what? Pay bays. Oh, okay.
Hey, Beis, I'm a Beis.
I just posted pay bays. Okay, so explanation. Yesterday we had the Machlokes. You need why you need and then we said out Ava, you need to have a full piece of bread, and then we had that whole ASIC with taking pieces of bread and you could pin it together if necessary, and then we had a Machlokes how you give the money to a baker or to a bnei bayis or a baba bayis, and then we said a Rabbanan made a gezerah that only Mashiach works for Kinyan, not cash does not work for a Kinyan. You have to actually pick it up, and and then we discussed at the end of the Perek gambling. I wanted to say one thing I forgot to say yesterday, and it's an important point with gambling. There are many shittas that hold, and seeming Ashkenazim hold that if when gambling, if you're doing something that is totally random, and you know that there's no skill whatsoever, the Ramah's makel that's not gambling, because you can't possibly partake in a game that you know that there's no chachma whatsoever, like dice, right? Rolling dice, there's no chachma. As far as I know, there's no chachma. Poker might have chachma, right? But gambling, rolling dice that you have there's no possible way to know, then many poskim say that's mutter. That's not called gambling, because you definitely do plan on giving up your money, because why would you ever put down serious money on something that you know is a total chance? Okay, whatever it is. So now let's start the new Perek. Yeah. So keitzad mishtitfin techum. Until now we're talking about Eruv chetzeres. Now we're talking about Eruv techum, right? So how do you make an Eruv for the techum? Yeah. Maniach is a chavis. You put down the barrel. Like you're going to.
Where are you?
The new Perek, keitzad mishtitfin.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, should have said that. That would have been a good thing. Paybays on Aleph. Right? So keitzad mishtitfin techum. Maniach is a chavis va'aymer hareza l'chol b'nei iri. This is for all the people of my city. L'chol mi sheyelech l'beis ha'avel or l'beis ha'mishter. Whoever's going to go to be menachem avel or to a beis mishter, which is interesting because there is no nicham avelim on Shabbos, right? So what's the mitzvah of going to a beis avel on Shabbos? Okay, beis mishter 100%, because back then they didn't make the actual wedding on Shabbos, but they made the suda on Shabbos. And anybody who's makabel miba'od yom you have to be makabel. You have to decide to use the Eruv techum on Friday afternoon. If you plan on using it only on Shabbos, you only decide that's too late. Yeah. When it gets dark, it's assur, because you're not going to make an Eruv once it gets dark. Hold on a second. Let me just connect.
Do you know where
Yeah,
the
hello?
sheet is for the?
Anybody hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so that's the Zakti Gemara. Amar Rav Yosef, Ein ma'arvin ella the dvar mitzvah. You can only make an eruv to go to a dvar mitzvah. Right? I mean, you can't just make eruv techum to. We discussed this a week ago or something. You can't make an eruv techum just to. It's interesting. Though it's an interesting point, though. What about taking a walk? This comes up in the country a lot. Right? You want to go out of the techum, whatever. You want to make an eruv techum because you want to take a nice walk on Shabbos. Is that considered a mitzvah? Is it Einik Shabbos or is it not Einik Shabbos? All right, so that's a shaila in the Paiskim.
It depends if you're going with your wife.
Well, which way is that, Perek? So should we say no comment?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just, I'm putting it out there.
Okay, and yeah, sometimes it is a mitzvah to leave the house by yourself, 100%. Right? So, but you only can go for dvar mitzvah. My kamash malon. So when I ask, what's he telling us? It says you could only make an eruv to somebody who's going to a base avol, a base Mishna. So Gemara answers, "Mao the same archa de milsa katana." You would think that's just archa de milsa. That's what people go to. They go. What do people travel for? They go to weddings and they go to base avos, right? Corona is being spread where in weddings and base avos. They're pretty much right. That's what people travel for. So you would think that that's just what the Mishnah says, but any other mitzvah maybe not. Kamash malon. That I mean, you can really travel for anything. Kamash malon. No, it's only for the dvar mitzvah. Fine. For chol shekibul yom, you have to be makabel on Friday. If you don't know about the Eruv techum on Friday and you only find out about it Friday night, then that's not going to work. So shamas mina ein breira. So as we know, there's such a klal called breira where you can choose retroactively exactly what's going on. So it must be from this Mishnah. There's no breira because why can't it be that you find out about the Eruv on Friday night and retroactively it tells you that whenever they made the Eruv on Friday afternoon, that was your choice. It'll be known retroactive to Friday whenever they put the Eruv there that you're part of the Eruv. Some Ravashi, no, so it's not true. We still would hold the breira. Here we're not talking about where they're telling you about the Eruv. Meaning, I'm sorry. Here we're talking about where they're just letting you know about the Eruv, right? They're just letting you know that there's going to be an Eruv, right? And as long as they let you know about the Eruv Friday during the day, then you would be able to decide about it on Friday night because of breira, because breira will work. You just have to know that there is an Eruv that's going to be going on, and then you could decide to do it. Fine. So Amar Ravasi, Katan ben Sheish Yaitza be'Eruv Imai. Right, so a katan who's up to 6 years old is Yaitza Eruv Imai, meaning you don't have to go over to a 6-year-old kid and have him in mind to make the Eruv, meaning the mother is going to a kiddush or whatever outside the techum, and she's going to take her 6-year-old kid, right? So anything up to the age of 6 is an automatic inclusion. After age 6,
why is this 6 where other things are chinuch is 10 or whatever the age of chinuch
that's
is?
an excellent question. The answer is, and this might make some people very happy. May ikar adin, you're only mechuyev to feed your kid up till the age of 6. After the age of 6, a kid is that's it. He's on his own.
I'm saying that's the halacha.
That is the way we paskin. Yes. Therefore, any food you give your kid after the age of 6 really can be taken from meiser money, right? Because you're not mechuyev. You're not mechuyev to feed your kid after 6. What are you saying?
We won't tell child labor about this.
Yeah, this doesn't fit in with Dina de Machusa, right?
So
but
food is till 6.
You don't.
Food is
Food
until
is till
6.
6.
And
You have to teach them how to read. Chinuch, you have to teach them how to read. All you have to do is teach them how to read Chumash, and that's enough, which by age 6, at least back then, was already accomplished. So may ikar atin. But the Paiskim Lamaisa say that nowadays, like not 16, how about 36?
Yeah.
I would say 36, maybe, right? But the Paiskim say that nowadays, like Aaron Zweig was saying, that nowadays that the accepted thing is that you have to take care of your kids for a lot longer. Therefore, you cannot take you cannot use meiser money for the kids after the age of 6. To what age? One thing is clear: after high school, you certainly could take anything for chinuch out of meiser. That's without a doubt. That's for seminary, bris medrash, kollel, all that stuff can come out of meiser. But the bottom line is, yes, up till age 6 is your responsibility. After that, meikar adin, it's not. Fine. So Meisvei, so they asked the question: Cotton shetzarach li'imai. So a katan who needs his mother, yotze be'eruv ima, he's yotze with the eruv of his mother. V'she'ein tzarich li'ima, ein yotze be'eruv ima. And if he doesn't need his mother, then he doesn't have to go out. He doesn't get included with his mother's eruv. It's not nami gabi sukkah ki agavna. We learn the same thing by sukkah. Katan she'ein tzarich li'ima, chayev b'sukkah. Katan that does not need his mother, he's chayev b'sukkah. V'avina b'va'ezu katan she'ein tzarich li'ima. What age is a katan who doesn't need his mother and therefore he's chayev in sukkah? Amid ve'Rab Yanai kol shenifne. That a kid who goes to the bathroom and the mother doesn't need to clean him up.
Helenia Malka. Helenia Malka. That's the Helenia Malka Gemara.
What? Is it? I think this is Gemara later than that.
Sorry.
I think this is, no. I think this is the Gemara later. When he wakes up, he doesn't call for his mother, right? So this is very young age. By the way, this is also, David, to answer your question, with chinuch, there is a chiyuv chinuch that you have to be mechanech them just to show them how to do mitzvahs after the age of 6, right? You are mechuyev, meaning, I'm sorry, really you potter from 6, but the age of chinuch, where a kid is mechuyev to do mitzvahs and you're mechuyev to try and show him how to do it, that's debatable when that age is.
Are you mechoyev to spend money to teach be mechanechim?
I'm not so. If you can't do it yourself, then yes.
But then, if we pay schar limud after 6, so then you mechoyev.
No. Chiyuv chinuch is to do mitzvahs, not to teach Torah.
What do you mean? You teaching them mitzvahs and Torah? They're both.
No. The teaching Torah is one thing. Teaching them how to do mitzvahs is another thing. Making sure your kid does lulav esrog, matzah, this and that. That's not teaching him Torah. I mean, obviously that's inclusive in Torah, but that's not what you're mechuyev. You're not saying what you're mechuyev. But that's a different thing. But the point is that a lot of people make this mistake. They feed their kids outside of the sukkah on sukkahs. The kid asks, "Can I have supper?" So the parents give the kid bread. A kid 11, 12 years old, whatever, even maybe 9, out of the sukkah. It's really not pasha, because here we're saying that it's age 4 or 5. The kid doesn't need the mother anymore. Then the kid has to sit in the sukkah. Okay, whatever it is. So the Gemara says, so do you mean that he calls for his mother? Is that what you're saying? Gedolim nami karu. Kids that are older than that age also call for their mother. Yeah.
I gave a kid, when he was 9 years old, I gave him some old granddaddy for sukkah hopping. I said, you don't need lollies anymore like these other kids. You could have. I've been hearing about that. He's 50. And they still talk. His parents don't talk about it. So.
I hope they talk about it in a positive way. Or
he laughs because he enjoys a good drink now.
There you go. Anyway, my
father did the same thing to me when I was the same age. So.
Shmuley, your father probably put schnapps in your bottle.
Very possibly, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Gemara is saying that a kid even older than that age wakes up in the middle of the night and calls for his mother. Right? Very interesting difference. Do you have a kid that just when he wakes up says ma, and then you have another kid that says ma twice? If a kid that says twice, so that's already younger age. Bekama, how much is that? Kfar arba, kfar chomish. That's the kid that's 4 or 5. Whatever it is, the point of the Gemara's kasha is you said age 6 is included in the Eruv. Here we're saying age 4 or 5. So now we're on Tomei base. I'm going to be sure breira Ravidi ki kamer Ravasi ki going to eat of aviv litzafen ve'imay ladarim. Okay, no comments here now, parrots, about this here. The father made the Eruv to the north, and the mother made the Eruv to the south. I'm not.
It's a dream. It's a dream.
There you go. There you go. Right. So the mother's going one direction, the father's going in another direction.
Really, the father's going to take a nap.
Exactly. Yep. Tafilu bar sheish nami b'tzavset de'ime nichale. Right. It reminds me of the guys that ben astorim in Eretz Yisrael, the koilo guys sleep in the bachrum's beds. So you think, oh yeah, it's too long to schlep home. Yeah, right, exactly. Right. So anyway, so dafilu bar sheish nami b'tzavset de'ime nichale. In that situation, we say, okay, the father made an Eruv one way, the mother made an Eruv one way. Which way does the kid go? Right. So we say that the kid goes with the mother. When we have the mother as opposed to the father, up till age 6, the kid goes with the mother. After age 6, I would hope the kid goes with the father. Yeah. Well, I guess it probably depends on boy or girl too. L'chayra. That's what I would think. Right. The father's going to shul, right, to the north. The mother's going to a kiddush to the south. Right. You'd think if it's a boy, he's going to want to go to shul. Maybe not. Age of chinuch. I don't know. Meisvei. So they had a kasha on that katan. A katan who needs his mother can go with the Eruv of his mother until he's 6 years old. Tiyufta de Rabbi Yeshua bar Rav Idi. That's a kash in Yeshua bar Rav Idi. Tiyufta, so it's Tiyufta, right? Because he said he said 6 years old. Here it says until he's 6, which means 5, right? So it's a matter of a year difference. So Leimate Avdu de Ravasi. So we said first we slug up Rabbi Yeshua bar Rav Idi. Then we say, so let's say it's a kash in Ravasi also, right? Because Ravasi said 4 or 5. And with Ravasi ad bechlal, no, what he means is up until 6, right? So this is including 6, and Ravasi had said 6. I'm sorry, I said Ravasi said 4 or 5. Ravasi and Amud Aleph said age 6, and here it's saying up till age 6. They say no, it means ad bechlal. Whenever you say, right, anytime you say in the Gemara up until here, does it mean until 6, including the 6, or is up until 6, which means 5? Okay. So then, right? Let's say this is a kasha and Rav Yana and Rish Lakish would say 4 or 5. Like kasha, no, one is talking about where the father's around to Shabbos, and one is talking about where the father's not around. Meaning, when the father's around, so the kid doesn't need his mother as much. When the father is around, then he does need his mother. Fine. I found this next line a little. I had a hard time with this because.
So when the father's around, the mother doesn't have to do chinuch?
She does, but she has somebody to help her out. There's somebody around, right? If the father's not around, then the kid is much more leaning onto the mother, right? That's what it's saying. So then,
is the mother mechuyev to take him to make sure he goes to shul?
Is the mother mechuyev to make? It's a big shaila whether the mother is chayiv and chinuch or not. Yeah, it's a big shaila. So anyway, so this what? Yeah. So then, Tana Rabbanon, Ma'arav Adam al Yedei b'noi b'ita. How do you teach al Yedei? I'm sitting here today looking at this Gemara. I'm saying a person can use his son and his daughter to make the Eruv for him, right? That's what you teach, right? Ma'arav Adam al Yedei b'noi b'ita. I mean, he sends his son out to bring the
no,
Eruv,
it's saying
right?
you may make an Eruv for his son or daughter.
But it's interesting because Rashi says al Yadon b'shvilan, before them. That's not the traditional taich, I don't think. I'm not the big taich man. That the traditional taich al yedei means through. Gershon, you're shaking your head because you agree with me or disagree with me, right? I'm looking at this one. I say I don't understand what's going on, and then finally I look at the one word Rashi that you skip over and say, oh, it means here al yedei means, like you said, David, for them. You can make the Eruv for them without them knowing about it. Person can make the Eruv for his kids that are less than bar mitzvah. Goyish slaves. Whether they know about it, whether they don't know about it. But you cannot make it on for Ye'ever or Yeshivcha that are Jewish because they have their own das. Not for older kids. You can't do it for your wife either because she has her own das too, right? Tani Idach, we had another brisa. Lo ya'arav adam al yedei b'noyu b'ita ha'gedolim, ba yedei avdei v'shechosei ha'ivrim, right? Same thing. U'bita ha'gedolim. I'm sorry, I just said it. Lo ya'al yedei ishtoi ela midaitam, only from their das. Aval ma'arav, ho yedei avdei v'shechosei ha'knanim, ba yedei b'noyu b'ita ha'ketanim, right? For the minors, bein l'daitam and shaloi l'daitam. Mneshe yadam ki yadoi, because their hands are like your hands. V'kulan she'irvu v'irav aleim. If anybody that makes an Eruv, right, and there are those that make the Eruv for them, Rabban Yoitzin B'Shel Rabban, right? Then they go with I'm sorry, V'irav, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. V'kulan she'irvu v'irav aleim Rabban. Anybody who their master makes an Eruv for them, Yoitzin B'Shel Rabban, they Yoitzin with their Rab. Chutz min ha'isha m'nei she'yichaylu limchos, except for a wife, because a wife can make a macha. That sounded familiar to anybody? Wives making a macha? Yeah. But anyways, so a wife can make a macha. So then Gemara says, Isha Maishna. Why? What's different about an Isha? Amarabba Isha v'chol d'dam. It doesn't mean a woman. It means anybody who can speak up for themselves, as opposed to a minor. So Amar Mar, the Gemara says, Chutz min ha'isha m'nei she'yichaylu limchos. That's except for a woman, because a woman is allowed to make a macha. Time at the machi. That's only because she makes a macha. Hastama nafka min debayla. But if you didn't ask, let's say the husband didn't ask the wife, is she included? Meaning, does a husband, before he makes Eruv Techum, they're going to go to a kiddush together. So he takes care of Eruv Techum, and he forgets to ask his wife if she wants to be included. Is she included? So Gemara wants to say it's mashma. That's only if the default is she's included, unless she makes the macha. right? So that's what the Gemara thinks. But then Hakatani Reisha Elamidaitum. But it says a woman, you can only make the Eruv for them. My love, the Amri in that she says she has to say it. Only then does it make Eruv. So when it says loy, my Elamidaitum, what does it mean? Midaitum deshtiku. That's if they're quiet, meaning you got to tell something and then they stay. You got to tell them you make an Eruv, and they stay quiet. Clearly, they agree with it. La fuke hechad amri loy, except it comes to exclude where they say no, I don't want. Right. So basically, it seems like what the Gemara is saying now is that you have to tell her you're making the Eruv, or at least let her know. If she's quiet, that means she agrees. If she says no because she wants to go in the other direction, then it doesn't work for her. It says that anybody who their master makes an Eruv for them, then they're yaitza with their master. And that's stam. That sounds like when it says the master makes it for them, that sounds like that's stam, the master makes it for them. And it says, but an isha not, to loinafki. So it sounds like a stam for the wife doesn't work, the Eruv. So Maraba, Kivin Shirvu, Ein Lecha Mechsi Gadav. No, since they made an Eruv, right? Then of course, since they made their own Eruv, then obviously that shows that they're making a machon. They're not interested in the Balabas's Eruv, right? Meaning if she makes her own Eruv, then obviously she shows she doesn't want to be part of Eruv. If she doesn't make her Eruv, then she's going to be included in his Eruv, right? Can we do the Mishnah? Can we do the Mishnah? No, too late. Yes, I'm seeing whatever's on my screen. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
This next Gemara, by the way, is if somebody wants to say tomorrow's daf, let me tell you, gesundte hate, because tomorrow's daf is math. Wow. Anyways, kamahu shiyurei. What's the shear? Mustn't stay sudas, right? You need to have food of 2 meals. The whole echad ve'echad to each and every person. Not like the Eruv Chatzeres where we said that it's 2 meals for everybody, right? Maximum of 18 groigers. But Eruv Tchum, it's not like that. There's no maximum. Each person has to have 2 sudas, which Naftali asked the other day, what about peanut butter? It's either 2 sudas or stuff that accompanies 2 sudas, which we'll get to. Right? Oh, we have to do this, Mishas. Mamash Erev Shabbos, we have to discuss this, right? Rameir holds it's the food. 2 meals are what? Weekday meals or Shabbos meals, right? So which one is more, which one is less? So Rameir says it's the weekday meals, not the Shabbos meals. It's Shabbos meals and not weekday meals. Each one of them is lakula. So basically it comes out, we have Machlokes Tanoim, whether you eat more on Shabbos or more during the week, right? We'll get that to the Gemara in a second. It has how much bread? It's a punyan when it's selling for 4 saw per seller. We're going to get to this Bez and much Shabbos. And then it's a half a loaf of bread for a tzaras house, which we'll also discuss. So there's going to be a half of that is the food that will make somebody puzzle. But so then the Gemara says, "V'kama mazon stays through this. How much is the mazon of 2 meals? Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav tarti rifta ichraisa. Two breads made for poor people. Rav Ada bar Abba, Amar tarti rifta nahar pefyasa. It's 2 breads from nahar pefyasa, which whatever size breads those are. Some of them Rav Yosef bread. The Rav what does your father hold like? Karameir sfirule. He holds like Rameir that it's weekday meals, not Shabbos meals. I know Nami Karameir sfirule. I also like the Rameir. Dika Rabbi Yehuda kasha, because if you say like Rabbi Yehuda, you have a kasha. That there's always room for more food, right? This phrase that the people say there's always room for dessert. Right here is this Gemara. When we say there's always room for dessert, that's a kasha on Rabbi Yehuda, right? Because Rabbi Yehuda says that on Shabbos you eat less because of the kedusha of Shabbos. You're eating less. But what's with this whole rule of that? There's always room for dessert. Right, so therefore it seems like what?
Gemara Megillah also.
Is it Megillah? It is other Gemara, yeah. So very good. So that's what he's saying. So it must be more like Rabbi Yehuda. I'm sorry, like Rameir, because Rameir holds weekday meals are less than Shabbos meals. All right, so 8 o'clock. Come on to Shabbos, Hashem. 8 o'clock.
And do we have Shir Shabbos day?
Shabbos day,
thank
4:40.
you.
It should be 45 to 49.
Have a good Shabbos.
We'll figure it out. Good Shabbos. 4:40. Aaron Kaplan's still on there?
What should I tell him?
Yeah.
I'm just-
Jacob, I'm here.
What's with that propane? You see an actual flame? I was having a little charata, what I was telling.
1 second. Let me turn it around for you. Yeah.
It has an actual flame?
You don't see it?
I see it. Then it's a shtickle schwer to move. It's not so, it's really not push it.
What if I move it with my foot?
If you really need to, then you. Then
if I really need to, but I should try to avoid that, right?
Yeah, try to avoid. Yeah.
Now the issue, you're worried about blowing it out.
No. Because muksa machmas assur. If it's a klisha malachti leissur, so then you can
we
move
have
it.
3 of these. Look, 1, 2, and then 3 in the front.
Gewaldig. You're keeping the torch of Torah and Yiddishkeit going, literally.
That's what we do.
There you go, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah. So, my son, you said 440.
Okay,
we'll
good
see
job,
if we do
Yaakov,
it.
thank you.
440. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Worst comes to worst, Jesse. I'll stand inside. You could stand outside.
That's fine with me.
I'm kidding around. We'll figure it out. Yeah. All right. Have a good Shabbos, everybody.
You too. Shabbos.
There's welcome to be made.
What are you saying?
There's welcome to be made a muktzamach with sister. It's the right, isn't it?
What? To move it with a shinoi, with a kelachar yad and all that. If it's a tzairich, you know what I mean? They're davening outside. COVID. I hate it. COVID matters everything. It's COVID. All right, try and say whatever you want.
Even the rices.
Not a deraisa. Muktzah is not a. I mean, it's not gonna. What?
Machlokes is bescheiden if it's muktzah deraisa.
No, but we paskin l'maisa muktzah derabana. L'maisa.
What? Even by machmas sister?
Yeah. Hello.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry to bother you.
No problem. Yeah. Well, I just finished share, so you're lucky because otherwise text would have gotten. But okay, go ahead.
I reviewed the list.